Larson on his backhand side. Up to Studioso. Some one-touch passing featured by the Sun Devils. Studioso back down to the half wall. Trying to score across in front. Bowman gets that shot off just enough, but it gets blocked. Minute 20 and this main advantage. Sun Devils with some sustained pressure, and then the one-timer being harassed by Joy. Down the corner to Studioso. Studioso fixes a shot. Budman, a one-timer shot. That time it's blocked by the defenseman Giamona, but the puck can't be out. Now a minute left, and the Sooners have a tired four-man group out there. And unfortunate for the Sun Devils, when it looked like they had the Sooners on the ropes, Budman takes an undisciplined penalty on Joy, and that'll negate the power play opportunity. The official word from the referee, it's an interference call. An undisciplined penalty the coaching staff for the Sun Devils have to dislike. When it seemed like they were turning around the corner, being able to possibly get their way back into this hockey game, they end up negating it themselves. It's going to be 4-on-4 for about 57 seconds, and the Sooners will have the main advantage. Draw on by D'Souza. Boss fakes the clap bomb, and he'll take it in zone. Wheeling back around, D'Souza on his forehand. Drops it back down to Passar. Passar trying to find Boss. Jagger Larson just got there in time to lift the stick of Boss. In the corner. Kowalchuk trying to pin the puck there. He's not unable to. Up to the point, Boss gets the shot off just in time as that was stuck in his skates. Passar takes it on the forehand. Shot gets blocked by York. Oklahoma operating. Sun Devils very stagnant in their own end. Boss centers that in front, and that time York just lifts the stick of the defenseman Lazaric. Aaron passed by the Sooners, and they're going to have to regroup in their own zone and allow the Sun Devils for a change. 11 minutes in this second period. Sooners now on the 5-on-4 opportunity for about a minute. Lazaric drops it. It gets taken away, though. Jet Larson. He's trying to get around the defenseman, Violo. Unable to, as that's taken away. Lazaric for the Sooners on the right side. Lazaric up to the point to find Pard. Pard walking in. Pard trying to get that pass through over to Beam, but that gets sticked away by Studioso. Brown, DDD Violo. Violo, the snapshot on, looking for that redirection, and gets blocked by Kowalchuk. Pard. Walking, and he drops it down low for Beam. Beam up to the point again. Violo gets it back. Down low, 15 seconds left. Maybe only a few more chances for the Sooners. Brown tries to get that shot through. Off the pillows right in front, and George makes two saves, moving from post to post athletically. Beam on his backhand. Cycles it down again, trying to get that seam pass through, and Brown was sneaking on the back door and couldn't connect. Pard. Behind the net, the Sun Devils are back to 5-on-5 hockey, but they're tired out there and they can't really move. Larson with that second effort comes to a fresh Aiden Sullivan. Sullivan trying to get around Brown, and Brown's able to shut the wickets. Puck comes to neutral zone as like Austin Palumbo's a little tired out there, a little lazy, and leaves his stick out in front and trips Beam. No question about what that call was going to be, as it was very blatant. And the Sun Devils have to continue to kill this penalty for another 2 minutes. Draw one by Brown as they're trying to dig for it. Comes over to White. White will go for the indirect pass off the boards. White on the forehand. Plays it back down in the corner for Brown. Kept alive by Jolly. White. He'll go down. Tripping, but no call on the play. Over to the weak side. Joy. Joy on the errant pass, and now squared out and allow the Sun Devils for a change. With 9 minutes in the second period, it's a 2-1 Sooners lead. Giamona. He'll find Joy right through the middle. Joy. He'll play it over to Brown. Brown with a tight turn, walks it back up to White. White, the one-timer shot in front, another juicy rebound for George, but George wasn't able to handle it. Joy in the corner. Up to the point, the Sooners are doing a good job operating. Joy. Play it down low to Brown. Brown trying to fake the pass, and he'll keep the puck. Under a minute left on this 5-on-4. The point shot on as the wrist shot from White was tipped by Joy as George was able to just find it in time. Some fresh Sooners come out. D'Souza plays it over to White. White with a shot on, and that'll be saved again by George. White throws it back around. Miller trying to hustle to get that one. We'll lay it down to Kowalczyk. Kowalczyk with a hard rim and takes a Sun Devil hop, and that'll allow it for a change. Aaron pass by the goal, trying to go for the stretch pass, taken away by Kowalczyk, who's been out there for a while. White saucer pass to Del Cassell. Del Cassell on the left-hand side, a nice move backhand. That's blocked by the kneeling Kowalczyk and finally frozen by George. About 7 seconds left for the Sun Devils, and again, it offers that opportunity to be able for the Sun Devils to hopefully hit that stretch pass from that guy coming out of the box, sneaking in behind the defenseman. D'Souza and Holston to the left of George. Holston wins it on his backhand, rimmed around by Studioso. Kept in by Isaac Boss. Del Cassell trying to brace himself for the check and keep possession of it by the wall. Boss just gets that puck, little air end as it goes out of the zone, and the Sun Devils now have a 3-on-2 opportunity. Holston on the left side tries to get that quick shot on. Geely plays it back down around. Intercepted as Del Cassell, the winger, puts it out into the neutral zone. Both teams are trying to poke at it and prod. It'll finally come to D'Souza for the Sooners. D'Souza drops that pass, but it was a little too far for his line mate, Hunter Lane. Sun Devils will get it in deep, and Bab's going to be forced to play it. 6:50 in the second period. It's a 2-1 Sooners lead. D'Souza on the right side. Studioso couldn't clear that puck, and it's kept in. Michael Perez trying to find somebody. He'll just elect to go for that chip off the glass, but it was a little too high and up in the netting.
And Brett, we have a bit of a hill to climb here for the Sun Devils as they're down right now on the shot clock, 22-13, with 6:37 left in the second period. And you have to imagine it's going to be go time for the last 5 and change here if they can get in the offensive zone.
Blocked away by George. Oklahoma, again, is on the offensive. Alexander Demon, the goal scorer for the Sun Devils tonight, will eat the check and put that out in the neutral zone. Rimmed around Studios has to look behind him, and he'll move it over to his winger, Demon, but not to his stick, though, and it's now corralled by the Sooners in the corner. Puck squirts out to Hurl, but he's unable to get the handle of it. Studioso plays the wall pass to himself, and that high chip finally works. Demon's trying to hustle and beat out the icing against Violo, and he does. Violo throws Demon down the corner. That'll allow the Sun Devils to go for a much-needed change. 5:50 in the second period, a 2-1 Sooners lead. Soft dump, and George will play it out of the reach of his defenseman Miller, though, as it pops out in the neutral. Budman. Area pass, and Yager Larson's going to be the first one to get there in the corner. He eats the check of Giamona, as it'll be rimmed around, and Wilson will have a free clearance. Wilson cutting through the middle. Finch doesn't know where it is. A little miscommunication on the crisscross will allow the Sun Devils to break it out. Jet Larson, not too much speed, trying to evade a few checkers, and finally gets put down in the middle of the ice by Beam. Bab over to White. White having trouble handling forward as the Sooners are trying to settle it down. Jet Larson intercepts it, though, and Sun Devils on a quick 3-on-2. Couldn't get it to the net, and it gets taken away by White. Now a 4-on-2 opportunity for the Sooners. White trying to figure out what to do with it. He'll cut down, tries to lead forward, and Wiggins on the back check intercepts it. Miller, D to D, and Aaron pass gives it right to Finch. Finch to Pard, cutting through the middle on his backhand. Pard, nice play to Beam. Beam tries to put that in front as they're trying to find it, and George is able to squat on it and freeze it. With 4:28 in the second period. A broken play almost worked out for the Sooners there.
And a little bit lazy in front from Kenneth Miller, as he might have been at the end of the shift, look a little bow-legged in front, but he let the forward coming in, just a straight drive right to the front of the net, and didn't attempt to take away his stick on the second or third opportunity. That put a lot of pressure on George to have to step up and make a big save in the moment. And you can tell Arizona State still on their heels, as the bench was barking on that last shift too for what looked to be a hooking penalty on Ben, but he appeared to get away from it. Referee never saw it. So Arizona State's going to have to go out there and make their own luck.
Clayton Brown in the draw for the Sooners with Levi Holston. Draw one on the forehand by Holston. A nice tight turn by Kowalczyk allows him to go for the breakout. Off the stick of Geely, it'll float to Babb. Babb plays it back around. Really active goaltender with playing the puck. As Kowalczyk beats the icing against Joy and allows the Sun Devils for an offensive zone draw. Shots are almost 2-1 in the ratio for the Sooners, as they had a lot of power play opportunities to allow them to get that advantage on the shot clock for this period. Same two centermen are doing the draw now in the Oklahoma zone. Lazaric, he's able to find Joy right into the neutral zone. Joy trying to work one-on-one, trying to get around Kowalczyk, and Kowalczyk keeps him to the outside. Clayton Brown, a nice tight turn, evades the defender, as both teams are digging for it. Oh, and a blocker stretch save by George on the delayed penalty call. And it gets thrown in front again, and George has to go in the splits. Finally touched up by Aiden Sullivan, and Kowalczyk gets a slashing call, and the Sooners are back on the man advantage.
And Brett a little bit lazy. Some puck watching going on in the defensive zone for Arizona State. And with the case of the puck watching going on, you add in a penalty kill now for the Sun Devils, and this is going to be a tall task for them. Luckily, we saw George showcasing just on that last shift some great athleticism and a beautiful save to deny them as the penalty was leading up.
D'Souza and Palumbo in the draw as they're both getting situated. Sooners win it. Cameron Brown gets that wrist shot on, trying to look for that tip again from Beam, as Budman steers it to the corner. Beam walking up to the point himself. Saucer pass over to Violo. Sooners trying to settle that puck down as the ice is a little chewed up right now. Beam with the wrist shot, finds it, and he scores! Michael Beam gets his second of the game on the wrist shot from the point. Looked like it eluded the goaltender, George. And now it's a 4-1 Oklahoma lead.
Yeah, Brett, and we referenced earlier in the game the Sun Devil penalty kill, doing a good job opening up the shooting lanes and space for Joshua George to see the shot. And on that one, it looked like everybody was in line for the checkout at target, as he had no view at all. A lot of bodies between him and the puck, and that one just manages to find a way in the back of the net.
Sun Devils will throw it down, but Gauger Larson ended up dumping the puck before the red line, and ended up being an icing call. Hey, double check if they maybe loosened the Ethernet cord. At the Sooners now adding to their lead 5-1 as that point shot got through on George, and now the floodgates are open. Let's see who ended up getting the final touch on that for the Sooners. But now they've opened up this lead. Looks like it's going to be officially end up being given to Paolo D'Souza. As in his second game of the season, his first goal comes. Demon has his stick loose and flies up in the air. Raymond Wilson gets his pass intercepted by Eric Cotton. As it gets dumped back in the Sun Devil zone. Cotton tries to go for a hard rim, and that'll be taken away and finally floated up to the neutral zone. Giamona plays with it. In his own zone, Giamona up to the front as he passes it directly to Studioso. Michael Perez for Sun Devils, unable to get it, and he'll get checked on the boards by Wilson. 2:20 in the second period. It's a 4-1 Sooners lead. Studioso, touch pass to Geely. Geely dumps that in. Bab will leave it behind his net. Almost gets it taken away by Holston, but the puck creams itself up into the neutral zone. Aaron Lara is trying to get around a couple Sun Devils, unable to. Aiden Sullivan evades a checker, and he gets a weak backhand shot on. Doesn't phase Bab at all. Folks, thank you so much for staying with us as we're having a little trouble with our internet here at Oceanside Ice Arena. And again, we thank you for your patience and again for tuning in tonight. Sun Devils with under 2 minutes left trying to nip at this 3-goal lead for the Sooners. All the way back around to Lazaric. He keeps Sullivan away from the puck, but he turns it over to Geely. Geely with his head up, finds Sullivan, gets it right back. Oh, and the touch pass misses. Oh, and another shot. As that second shot coming from Kowalchuk, Bab was able to find it through the traffic.
That was the best shift we've seen in a long time from the Arizona State Sun Devils, Brett. As well as the Holston and Geely line out there that were generating something. They won a battle down low, and what do you know? They go on to get a chance. It's that kind of hard work that needs to manifest itself and continue.
Puck will come all the way out to the neutral zone. York's able to get that just out and have to force the Sooners to touch up. Puck up in front by Jolly. He's not able to find a teammate. Boss retreating back in his own end. Looking for the stretch pass up in the neutral zone. Gets it taken away by Kowalchuk. York trying to find his winger, but that'll go off the skate of Finch. Kowalchuk, he'll shovel it over to York. York trying to hit Michael Wiggins, but it's just behind him. Under 60 seconds in the second period. Wiggins trying to cause a turnover, unable to do. It'll now come to Cameron Brown. Brown will just chip that up in the ice. Kowalchuk a little tired trying to get there, and he finally does for the icing.
And Brett, it appeared on that last shift that Brown went off a little bit after taking a hard stick check and body check from Jack York, so we'll monitor that and see. But that could be another loss, which will be tough for the Sooners to handle. That would be 2 players down if he cannot return.
Definitely, if you're just joining us, both teams are missing a couple players. There was Jeff O'Day going off with an arm injury, and as well as Dylan Adams for the Sun Devils, so both teams are a man short. Puck squirts on front by Gavin Klein. As Jet Larson was the first one to get there, trying to put home that rebound, and it ends up being Trevor Finch committing the hooking call to disallow that opportunity for Larson, and it'll allow the Sun Devils to go on a power play.
Yeah, that'll be Finch's second penalty of the night, and he really had to take that one, as it was a great job by Jet Larson to win a battle and beat him to the front of the net, and if he doesn't take that hooking penalty, Larson has a chance to pot home that rebound. So a good penalty by the Sooners, and an interesting opportunity for the Sun Devils. They'll have the end of this period and potentially the start of the next on the power